Hello, my name is Andrew Swerts, and today we will be going over the representation of nature in the Rite of Spring, choreographed by Vasilov Nijinsky, with the music written by Igor Stravinsky, and we will be comparing this to the movie Midsommar by A24 Films, directed by Ari Aster. Richard Taruskin writes, in regard to the Rite of Spring, the composer and the choreographer, by insisting so on the terror of Mother Nature rather than the beauty of human nature, projected a thoroughly alien, expressive ambience, alien to all humanistic thought and its brutality dehumanized mind. This perfectly describes the Rite of Spring in the means of its representation of nature. Nature in the Rite of Spring is a motif that leads the plot and leads the people in the story to take part in the actions they are doing. Beauty is not displayed in the Rite of Spring, and you can find this in the music and the choreography. The main word that I always use to describe it is harsh. Not necessarily in a bad way, but it is like a systematically controlled chaos. The dancers would maintain a disjunct figure with an emphasis on their limbs and posture, with their arms being bent mainly, and them landing flat on their feet with their feet turned in. In standard ballet, the focus would be on extending the limbs and being long and graceful, i.e. beautiful. And this helps us determine that Nijinsky truly was not shooting to be pretty or beautiful in any way in his choreography. The music in the Rite of Spring is the definition of eerie. Stravinsky writes the music to instill anxiety in the listeners and maintain them in a state of somewhat confusion or despair, you might even say. He does this by playing with the meter, the rhythms, tonality, and many other aspects. The main theme of the Rite of Spring and the plot are these ceremonies that they would do to thank the earth and to bring on the coming seasons. It could be said that the themes of ugliness portrayed by the dancers and with the music are just pathways to show the beauty of nature. That these tribal Russians are the sheer opposite of nature, and that they need to do these ceremonies to bring back the beauty in their lives and to move on from the nightmarish environment that is portrayed in, per se, the Rite of Spring. And moving on to the relationship of Midsommar in regards to this with the Rite of Spring, the similarities are extremely extensive, such as the Rite of Spring was broken up into 2 acts, where the first was just an appreciation of the earth, and in some recordings you can find that at the end of the first act, you can see the village elder, per se, kiss the ground to show appreciation for the earth. And with the second act, these provide action and kind of sacrifice to the earth. We can find the same correlation in Midsommar, but with the more significance on displaying the beauty of the earth. Instead of disjunct actions, like in the Rite of Spring, Midsommar shows grace and color and community. A big feature of Midsommar is the use of flowers. You can find flowers in almost every scene, and especially in the end. Don't want to spoil if you haven't seen it, but there's a throne of flowers, kind of symbolizing that, all right, now we have gotten to the the spring or the coming seasons. And this is used to show the main goal of these barbaric acts of like sacrifice and mass sacrifice. And there is even a little suicide in Midsommar in what I would call Act 1. And these barbaric acts are mainly leading us towards the beauty of flowers. And in both works, beauty of nature is kind of put on a pedestal. Like we're doing all these scary things that you would find in a horror genre. And this would be kind of it would kind of provide justification. You know, we're searching for this great beauty of nature, and we do all these awful acts to get to that place. And unfortunately, that they would come to the answer of sacrifice. But you can find that these acts, truly, the worse they are, kind of exemplifies how beautiful nature is. Like, we might not see the exact beauty of nature, but we can base it kind of off these acts, that it is something that is worth doing it for. Well, in their terms. So you can find this like in the Rite of Spring, how there's not much beauty displayed with all of the disjunct and eerie rhythms in the music, and with the dancers not really displaying grace at all. And with Midsommar, you can find this, they do these beautiful ceremonies, but so that does display a little bit of beauty, but the acts, because in going on to the suicide part, it would have these two elders jump off a cliff, and they would just say, oh, it's what we do, you know, to get to this higher goal. And it's like, we do it every year. So you can truly find that these represent nature in slightly different ways. And I think it could be beautiful. But thank you.